All right, guys, it's that time. My review of the OnePlus Open phone is the first folding device from OnePlus, and it puts a big amount of pressure on the foldable market here in the Western world, where folding phones, you really can only get a Pixel Fold or a Galaxy Z Fold 5, and now this phone, at least in the current generation of things. And this, I've had all those phones. I've even had some of the Chinese manufactured folding phones like the Oppo Find N2 and the other one from Vivo. And those are all great phones. And this is probably, at this point, the best foldable phone that you can get for the most part. It's not my daily driver, and I'll kind of talk about why it's not, but let me talk about all the things that are really amazing and things that potentially could be improved with it. Well, first of all, you've got this amazing, huge 7.8 inch display, which it's super bright, it's big, it's large, it's easy to see stuff, it's a great display. And then on the outside here, you have another beautiful display here, which it gets equally as bright, 2800 nits of brightness, and it's almost the same size as a regular phone, or is in some cases. It's definitely the best outside screen that you can get on a foldable phone. The weight of this is excellent. It's definitely one of the lightest foldable phones you can get. And when I say that, again, everything's related to the Western world. I'm not bringing in any of these Chinese phones into this equation for the most part. But yeah, it's really, definitely hand holdable, light for a foldable phone. And that's absolutely amazing. One of the big things they marketed on here were the cameras. And I think with the cameras, I came into this thinking I was gonna be completely blown away. And I can take a nice photo, I can take a nice video, but more times than not, it's not always my favorite phone. It's got an amazing zoom at 120x, which is ridiculous. And again, I think with the folding phones, none of them are blow me away amazing, like you might get with maybe like a Pixel 8 Pro or an iPhone 15 Pro Max or an S23 Ultra or something like that. But they do take good quality videos and photos, and the microphones are really good on here. So with the camera experience that you get on this phone, I think you'll be fairly happy with it, if not more than happy with it. Again, you can take some really nice photos and videos. I don't, at least on this phone, I haven't really walked away blown away by it in terms of its photos and videos capabilities. Charging on this is absolutely amazing, and it comes with a charger, which is very rare occurrence these days, and a case for that matter. I get the case on right here. The case isn't super heavy duty protective. I'd probably look elsewhere to get a case, but in the meantime, you can definitely use it. This will charge up to 67 watts, which is super fast. So 0 to 100 in about 42 minutes. So that's an awesome thing, but there is no wireless charging. There's no reverse wireless charging, which at the end of the day, not a big deal to me. It might be for you, but if you absolutely need it, you probably don't want to get this phone, but otherwise you'll be perfectly happy with the super fast charging that this phone comes with. Battery life, I get over 6 hours of battery life with the OnePlus Open. I've heard people getting even more than that. So be not forewarned, but be hopeful that you will get just as much, if not more. So really good battery life with the OnePlus Open. The software experience on the OnePlus Open has been awesome. So fast, so fluid, so impressive. And it has a lot of built-in features under the hood, within the settings menu and on the home screens, and there's multiple ways to multitask. It's really smart and well thought out, and you know what? It's smart in a lot of ways, the way they did it, and slightly different than what their competitors do with running the phone and operating it. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing. I like companies that try a little something new, and they're not always copying the trend of what somebody else does or how they do it. I mean, they do that on this phone at the same time, but it's nice to see some differences in the varying foldable phones, at least in the software experience, especially if you're not happy with the way Samsung does it or the way Pixel Fold does it. I would equate this software experience to really a perfect medium of a little bit of Pixel Fold, a little bit of Galaxy Z Fold 5, but closer to the Z Fold 5 experience, but with the speed and fluidity of a Pixel Fold. And it's definitely even faster than that. And speaking of being fast and powerful, The OnePlus Open is really powerful. It's got the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage. Everything on this is buttery and fast and powerful. Gaming is great on here, not only because of the power that it has, because of these big displays that it has on this phone. So overall, you know, in terms of power and all of that, it's way big, awesome, 2 thumbs up. It's got 3 speakers on it, and the speakers do sound really good. They're not my absolute favorite sounding speakers, but they're really loud, and it's a nice sounding speaker overall. Very happy with it. Also, holding this in your hand, I kind of mentioned that, you know, it's got big displays, and it's actually not that bad. I always use a pop socket or some kind of grip on the back of the phone. I would advise you to do the same, to get some kind of grip on either a love handle or a pop socket and be able to hold it. Just makes it easier to use. But yeah, holding it in your hands, really not that big a deal. And like, you know, you get this huge phone, and if you don't use a grip, you know, you can still hold it with 2 hands, or you can hold it with 1 hand if you got a pop socket, or you can close it and still use it with 1 hand. So overall hand usability is really good. Biometrics isn't one of my most favorite things on here in terms of, you can use face unlock, but it's not gonna unlock any banking apps, just gonna unlock your phone. And then you got your fingerprint, which isn't my favorite on here. It seems somewhat, it is accurate. It doesn't seem as accurate as it was on like the Pixel Fold and the Z Fold 5, but it's really close to it. It could probably more user error than anything, and what I'm used to and what I like to feel on there, but it does stick out for the most part of where to use the fingerprint sensor. But yeah, I guess it comes down to, like, this is a great phone to buy. I think if you get it for a first folding experience, or you're coming from another folding experience, have it be with Pixel Fold or a Chinese manufacturer or the Galaxy Z Fold 3 or 4 or 2, whatever, I think you'll like it, and at least you can try it out and return it if you don't. It's got everything going for it. It doesn't really have that many negatives for it. It's really, when on a raw spec to spec, it's the ultimate folding phone to get in the Western world that you can get. But other than that, like, why don't I use it as my main folding phone at this point? I'm back to the Z Fold 5. For me, it's a couple of things. It's stupid things, like, well, not stupid, but I like the inside display size of the Z Fold 5 better than the OnePlus Open. I like the way the pictures colors are better on the Z Fold 5. They're like a brighter look to them. They're not always better, but I prefer the brighter look, which I know I can do it in editing and stuff, but let's be honest, how many people want to always edit their photos? I personally don't. I also like about the Z Fold 5, I like the software experience. I know it's not as fluid, but it's still really fast and for the most part fluid. And I like the customizations built in that I can use on there. And then just, again, weird things to kind of sum up what I was saying in the beginning is, it was weird things like I have a Tesla, and this Z Fold 5 just works better with unlocking and locking the car up. It was more accurate and more reliable in that regard, which was kind of weird, but it's something that popped up. Also, I feel like the overall build quality is a little bit better on the Z Fold 5, just what I feel overall, and the software experience in general, like I said, is I like it better on the Z Fold 5. But those are the things. But otherwise, like I said, this is an amazing phone. There's really not anything to not like about it. So if you want to pick it up, I'll link it down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.